Hello everyone, my name is Pravesuda and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are diving into an exciting project where we'll automate AWS infrastructure deployment using Jenkins and Terraform. And as a bonus, deploy the classic 2048 game on it. If you are into DevOps, CI/CD or cloud automation, this is a must watch. So I have ready down the 2048 game demo. You can run the following Docker command to try it out for yourself. Now, if you go to your local host port 80, you can see the game running. So let's break down the project. What we are going to cover today. We'll start by setting up an EC2 instance which will act as our host machine, install the required tools for the project, which include Jenkins for CI/CD pipeline, Docker for containerizing the application, Terraform for infrastructure provision, and AWS CLI to authenticate Terraform about the AWS account. After that, we will be using Terraform to provision the infrastructure and manually SSH into the EC2 instance. Install Docker in it, create the Dockerfile, and run the Docker container and access the 2048 game on the public IP of that instance. And once we ensure that our application is running fine, we'll use Jenkins to create a CI/CD pipeline to automate everything from provisioning of the EC2 instance with Terraform to deploying our 2048 game in a Docker container. And yes, all of this will be automated. So before we jump into the technical part, make sure you have basic knowledge of the tools like Jenkins, Terraform, AWS CLI, Docker. We'll also need some plugin in Jenkins like SSH agent and Terraform plugin. First thing first, let's start by creating our EC2 instance. So now I am on the EC2 dashboard. I'll click on launch instance. Give this instance a name like 2048 game. I'll select Ubuntu as the application OS image. And in the instance type, I would select t2.small because we would needing somewhat power. In the key pair, I'll select a default one. In the network setting, I'm going to select an existing security group, by default security group, because I have configured the port like the Jenkins port and the application port. In storage, I will provide 20 GBs because we'll be installing many tools, so it would be better to give 20 GB. So after reviewing all the configuration, I'm gonna hit create. Like, let's launch the instance. So while the instance is launching, let me show you the security group which I'm talking about. So here we have the security group. So in this security group, I have open port 8080 for Jenkins, port 5000. Actually, this is not the right security group. It's for this application. So it doesn't matter, like we can remove it and save the rules. Okay, let's go back to our EC2 instance. Click on the instance and let's connect to it. So I'm going to copy this command. Now I'm going to navigate to my directory where I have stored this key. I'll paste this command. And we are inside the container. So the repo you are seeing on your screen is the project's repo. I'll provide you the link of it in the description. It has the install script.txt file. So it contains all the command related to Docker, Java, Jenkins, Terraform installation. So let's install Docker first. Copy these two commands, paste it. So now this is the project repo. I want you to clone it. So let's copy the link. Let's get clone. Okay. So let's get inside the directory. Now let's go to our terminal. Navigate inside the Terraform setup directory. Here we have the main.tf file. It's a simple Terraform file that uses AWS as provider. It will be creating a EC2 instance with Ubuntu ID and has an instance type of t2.small. So I want you to replace this AMI ID with your AMI ID, which you can find on EC2 dashboard. Here click on launch instance, click on Ubuntu, and here we have the AMI ID for your Ubuntu. So copy that and paste it here. Similarly, we have the VPC group ID. I am using the default security group that I am using for this host EC2 instance. So I would recommend you to use the same. Also in the key name, I have given the same key pair through which I am getting inside the container. And in the name, I have given Terraform Jenkins server as the name of instance. I am also outputting the AWS EC2 instance public IP address of the server. So, but before running the main.tf file, we need to initialize the AWS credential to authenticate with our AWS account. For that, we'll use AWS configure command. So I have already provided my access key, my secret access key, the default region name, which is US East 1, North Virginia, the output format as JSON. So if you don't have an access key, you can create one going to the IAM service, selecting your user. Currently, I have only one user through which I have logged in, which is Light. So we'll go inside it, go to the security credential, and here we can use create access key. In the use case, you will use command line interface, accept the terms and condition, and click next. Here you can give a tag value of it and click on create access key. It will give you the access key and the secret access key, which you can copy and paste inside the terminal to authenticate your account. So now let's use Terraform init to initialize the Terraform. Here it is initializing the Terraform, in which we will be using AWS as cloud provider. So now let's run Terraform apply. Now it is showcasing us the changes it's going to make. So it will create an EC2 instance with this AMI ID, which is the Ubuntu ID, and we'll having t2.small as the instance type, and we have the key pair name as default.s2. So let's say yes to the configuration and let the instance to be created. So now our instance is created. We'll navigate to the EC2 dashboard. So here is our instance. We'll click on connect and we'll SSH inside the container. I'll create a new terminal, navigate inside the directory which have the key pair, paste. So first we are manually getting inside the container, but later on we'll create a CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins that will automate all the process. So in this new instance, we will be installing Docker. So for that, we'll copy the command from the directory, copy this command, run it inside the container. So after we have installed it, we'll clone this GitHub repo because it has the Dockerfile for it. Okay. Clone the repo link. We'll navigate inside the directory Now it has a Docker file. So I copied this Docker file from one of Nasi's video. So shout out to Nasi for creating this Docker file. So we'll create a Docker image out of it using Docker build command. We'll give it a name. 204 it game. So the game is running on actually Nginx, so that's why it is using port 80. So after the image is created, we will run it as a Docker container. So the image is successfully built. We can see by using Docker images. So we have the my 2048 game image ready. So let's run it Docker run 80. So if we go to our instance public address, we can access the game. Like, isn't it cool? So now we're gonna automate everything by building a Jenkins CI/CD pipeline for this project. For that, let's go to the terminal. Here, let's first run Terraform destroy, so that it destroy the EC2 instance on which we are working on, and we'll create new one using Jenkins. So I have already done it. So you'll run this command and do that first. So let's go to the install script.txt file. So we have installed Jenkins. So to get the Jenkins password, we'll use this command. So here is the password. So to access Jenkins server, we'll need to copy the public IP address of the instance, paste it inside the terminal, followed by port 8080. So here we'll paste the admin password. We'll install the suggested plugins. I'll skip creating the admin user. Let's save and finish it. So Jenkins is ready. Let's do that. So let's go to manage Jenkins. Go to plugins where we have them. Here we are. Click on available plugins and install Terraform and SSH agent. Here it is. So we'll install it. Similarly, we need to configure some credential for our Jenkins pipeline. So go to manage Jenkins credentials, go to systems, global credentials, and click add credential. So firstly, we'll upload our default ec2.vim file, which is the secret key to authenticate with our instance. So let's choose a file. So I have it in the default ec2 file. So I give this an idea of ec2 ssh key. Similarly, we will create two other credential for access key and secret access key. Select secret text. Here you need to paste your AWS access key, and in the ID you can give AWS access key ID. Hit create. Add another one, secret text ID AWS secret access key, and put down your secret and hit on create. So now you have configured the credential. Now you can go to new item, create a new pipeline project, give it a name 204 at game, click OK. In the pipeline section, select pipeline from source management, select the source as Git, give the repository URL as copy it and paste it here. You don't need to provide any credential because it is a public repository. So in the branch, you need to change the name from master to main. And here the script part, you can use Jenkins file only because in the instance we have the Jenkins file here, right? So hit save. So now before running the pipeline, let me explain you the Jenkins file which we are using. Okay, let's walk through the Jenkins file step by step. Agents and environment variable. The agent any directive allow the pipeline to run on any available Jenkins agent. We set up important environment variable like AWS region, instance user, and Terraform directory for consistency. So the first stage is clone the repository, which uses Git as a plugin to pull the project code from a GitHub repository. The next stage is initializing Terraform. So in initialize Terraform stage, we authenticate with AWS using Jenkins credential and initialize the Terraform configuration located in the Terraform setup directory. So the next stage is provisioning of our EC2 instance. So the Terraform apply stage runs the Terraform apply command with -auto approve to provision an EC2 instance automatically. This is where our infrastructure is created. Next, we have the get EC2 public IP address stage. Here we use Terraform output to fetch the public IP address of a newly created EC2 instance. This is crucial for the next steps because we are going to use it as an environment variable. So next we wait for the EC2 instance to be ready. We introduce a 30-second delay to ensure that the EC2 instance is fully ready for SSH connection. In the next stage, we are setting up Docker on EC2 instance. We'll SSH into the EC2 instance, install Docker using a multi-line shell script. The strict host key checking set to no option is used to prevent SSH from prompting for key verification. And at last, we have the deploy 2048 game. So this is the heart of our pipeline. We SSH into the EC2 instance again, create a Docker file on the fly. The Docker file is configured to install Nginx, download the 2048 game source code, build a Docker image and run the container exposing on port 80. So the last stage is verified deployment. Finally, we output the public IP address where the game is hosted. You can navigate to this IP in your browser and see the game live. So this is the explanation of the Jenkins file. Now we'll go to the Jenkins server and let's create it. Let's build this pipeline. So let's go to the console output of the pipeline to see how it is progressing. So our Terraform is initializing now. So Terraform is creating the Jenkins server EC2 instance. So we have our public IP address of the new instance. So now we put the machine to sleep for 30 seconds. So okay, we are inside the new instance and Docker is getting installed. So now we are building the image. Let's see if everything runs fine. Yeah, so the pipeline built successfully. We have the game should be running on this IP. Let's click it and see if the project is running fine. So yeah, we have the game running fine. So this conclude the project. If you like it, do like the video, share it among your DevOps friend. And if you want to try this project in a blog format, I have written down a blog for this project. You can go to blog.pravesudha and here you have the blog for this application. So this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.